Afternoon, and well, it's not like as good of an afternoon here in North Bali today, but welcome to my no-name channel. I'm Bruce, and this is another Bali COVID-19 update for December 13th, 2020. The year is almost over, getting close. Okay, let's get started. Numbers. Okay, so I'm going to throw a couple of graphs up here, and you can take a look and see the rise in cases. Yesterday, 71 new cases in Bali. So that was lower than recently. We've had numbers up in the hundreds every day. Yesterday was a little downturn. 15,511 total cases. 14,111 recoveries, 465 deaths, 2 new deaths yesterday, and 935 active cases. And so we're down back below the 1,000 number. Hooray. Okay, good news there. Not real good news in Indonesia as a whole. We passed the 600,000 mark total numbers the other day. And yesterday, 6,388 new cases. And so we're up at 6,000. We've been up at 6,000 every day recently. 611,631 total cases. 501,000 recoveries. 501,376. 18,653 deaths. And 91,707 active cases. So this isn't good. And so when you're looking at opening up Indonesia, opening up Bali, we're still in this. And we'll talk about the vaccine in a minute. Let's take a look at the local numbers. So Denpasar 20, Bangli 10, Badung 10, Wulang 9, Gianyar 8, Jembrana 7, Tabanan 5, and Klungkung 2. And so, mask wearing is still going on here. My wife told me today that they've stopped supplying hand washing things at the water at the traditional market here in Singaraja at the Anyar. I don't know. Haven't been there in a couple days. We're going to go later this week. Sue and I do a video on some of the foods that they sell there that can be used for healthy things, because that was asked after the video here that we did, and we were talking about plants and health. So the numbers are up, way up in the country as a whole. And so what's going to happen? Opening does not seem like an option. Well, I kind of feel like a bore. Resistance is futile. Let's take a look at the vaccine. So on Sunday, last Sunday, a week ago today, we received 1.2 million doses of the Sinovac vaccine. And we're supposed to get another 1.5 or 1.8, I think in January. According to the health minister, Pak Putranto, he said that he expects an emergency use authorization soon. This was the first of the 3 million doses that we're going to get from Sinovac, and these will be used for health and frontline workers. And so if you are not a health and frontline worker and you don't want to take the virus, don't worry. It's going to be a long time. So Sinovac still not released the results of their stage 3 clinical trial. This was as a report from 4 days ago. So I haven't seen any updates about that yet. So I think that's still the same. Stage 2 showed 70% efficacy compared to Pfizer, Moderna, both at 90 plus. Nonetheless, the government is confident that the Food and Drug Control Agency, BPOM, will give the heads up for the emergency use authorization soon. About 32 million people under the National Health Insurance Program will receive the vaccine for free. The rest of us are going to have to pay. Now, I'm on the National Health Insurance, but I'm at VIP level, so I'm not probably going to have to pay for this. And so, yeah, it's going to have to be paid. And the health minister, Pakterwan Putranto, said that the vaccination program is going to target 67% of 167 million people aged between 18 and 56 years, as recommended by the Technical Advisory Group on Immunization. There's going to be two schemes. One is going to be carried out by the government, the other will be private. The public scheme will be carried out by the Health Ministry, and the private scheme by the State-Owned Enterprises Ministry in partnership with the Health Ministry. And so 18 to 56 years old, that leaves me out, and my granddaughter, fortunately, and my wife too. Okay, so that's where we're at with the vaccine right now. So we haven't started yet. So the whole world, this whole last week has been vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. All my friends talking about vaccine. Well, because of the UK, and you know, I'm sure that they've already started. And the U.S. emergency use authorization was passed, was okay today, and so U.S. is ready to roll too. They have shipments coming out all over. And how is this going to work? Are the rich countries going to get theirs first and then the rest of the world get theirs afterwards? I don't know. That's going to be an issue. So, and then let's talk about who's going to take the vaccine. 40% of Americans don't want to take it. Indonesians, I don't know. I haven't seen any surveys yet, but there's people that don't believe in this, of course, that don't believe coronavirus exists. I know some, and they're not really interested in taking the vaccine, so we're going to see what happens. Okay, so let's just see as I said, let's see what happens. Next, New Year's celebrations. Now, this is really interesting, right? So the holiday time is coming up, and the government's been worried, like governments all over the world, with the holidays, and we've got Christmas and New Year's. Christmas, not a big time in Indonesia, right, because 87% or so of the population are Muslims, and Hindus don't celebrate Christmas really either, and so that leaves the Christians and maybe the hidden atheists celebrating Christmas. But New Year's Eve is a big thing in Indonesia, and especially in Bali. And so there are two reports here. So one, the regional government said, and there's links below here so you can check this out. The regional government said that residents and visitors should stay at home for New Year's Eve in order to avoid surge cases. Okay. Pak Dewa Gede Rai from Denpasar COVID handling task force said that the government strictly forbids mass gatherings. Okay, this was a week ago. And Pak Dewa Rai said that the task force in every village has been notified to stay cautious and be on the alert, and that military and police will be deployed in places where large gatherings could happen, and that the authorities will disperse crowds. Specific locations being beaches, restaurants, cafes. And this policy is being enforced to support physical distance. He said anyone who disobeys will be arrested and tried for committing a minor crime. Now, okay, so this was widely reported. Now, at the same time, hotels and restaurants are already advertising Christmas and New Year's Eve specials here in Bali to get the few foreigners and other people around, but also the mass of people coming in, 387,000 people are supposed to be showing up here, according to the authorities at the airport. Now the New Year's Eve update. Okay, so according to an article in the Jakarta Post yesterday, the Bali Provincial Administration will allow hotels, restaurants, and tourist destinations to hold New Year's Eve celebrations under COVID-19 health protocols in a bid to revive the island's tourism sector. So they've reversed themselves. According to Bali Tourism Agency head Putu Astawa, there are no restrictions yet. We still allow celebrations on the condition that health protocols are implemented and capacity is limited to 50%. The Bali Public Order Agency, Satpol PP, head Bagdewa Nyoman Rai Jamada said his office would deploy personnel to help monitor locations where crowds can gather. He said, I quote, "We will direct field monitoring at gathering points." However, Dermadi added that Bali authorities would soon issue an appeal for residents not to congregate in loud crowds, and he said that authorities believe that the residents will follow health protocols, and some of them have been, some of them haven't. And so far this year, well, from September till 9, the public the Public Order Agency has netted 11,693 people in raids from September up until now, and 1,722 were fined. The rest were given warnings. Okay, so what's happening New Year's Eve? I guess everything is open, right? As long as it's no more than 50%. And this leads up to all the talk about, well, we've got all the safety protocols in place and everything, and it's going to be strict. It's not going to be strict. Look, it's just, this is not the way things are done here. It's going to be fly by the seat of your pants. But, you know, that's it. And I guess that's one of the things that people love about Bali. What about who's going to be here? Okay, so things are going to happen. Who's going to be here? Well, holiday travels. So it's been estimated by the stakeholder relations manager of the company that runs the airport, the airports in Indonesia, that somewhere around 380,000 passengers will arrive in Bali for the holiday season starting next week. And increased staff and security is prepared to implement safety and health protocols, and a digital travel function has been developed that will ensure smooth operations. So there's a 6.9% increase in domestic travel to Bali over last year. Okay, so there's some good news, right? We don't have the masses of international tourists coming in, but domestic tourism is up. The airport's operating now at a 50% capacity compared to 35% in the previous month. So people have been coming in, and this is going to go up. Pak Tofan, who's from the airport management company, suggested that all passengers fill out the health alert card, HAC, through the digital app eHAC, which can be downloaded at Play and App stores on your phone or tablet or laptop. And it's recommended to download the app prior to departure in order to prevent the long waiting list when you are at the airport. And it's suggested that you get to the airport 3 hours before your flight, because you need to go through all these protocols. And prepare an ID card and a negative virus test. Okay, you need an ID card, negative virus test, you need this app, and you're advised to arrive at the airport 3 hours early. things are going to happen. I was in a store, a toy store the other day with Zoe and Marsha the bear, and they had fireworks everywhere. Now, you're not supposed to be able to buy fireworks and shoot them off privately, but you know, they're sold openly every year, and so they had some pretty cool ones. I was really tempted to get one myself, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so Bali's open for the holidays, not for international tourists. I'm afraid that's still not happening. Now, there was an interesting article about Bali is ready is in quotes, for international tourists before Christmas, according to the UN Tourism Agency. And according to the UN World Tourism Organization, Asia and Pacific Director Harry Huang, after being on this island, he came to Bali and he did a survey of the hotels and everything in the airport to check on the health and safety measures. He said, you guys are ready to open tourism soon or next year. I wouldn't be surprised if the government announced that Bali is open before Christmas. Okay, that's his quote. Is that going to happen? Well, Christmas is, what, 12 days away? Cases are going up. Don't see it happening. And who's going to come? Korea is got a huge spike. China's not letting people come out yet. Australia, no. New Zealand, no. So the UN thinks we're ready to open. We're going to open at Christmas, or we could open at Christmas. Remember, the article said ready. I think this is like clickbait stuff. I don't see this happening. Don't see this happening for a while. And like I said, who's going to come? You've seen my videos before. You know I had dengue fever, the worst of the strains, and almost died there. And so I'm particularly paranoid about mosquitoes. And the Badung regional government has warned people, predicted surge in the transmission of dengue fever. According to the head of the Badung Health Agency, Dr. Nyoman Gunarta, there's been a dramatic decline in cases this year. 746 cases in April, went down to 613 in May, 200 in June, 90 in July, 60 in August, 21 in September, 15 October, 7 in November, and 1 this month. But he noted that many people have neglected the threat of dengue because of the coronavirus, and he reminded people that dengue-carrying mosquitoes breed during the rainy season. There's lots of water sitting everywhere. Standing water is a major problem. Standing water is a major problem in our house. And just my own observation, walking around the city today with Zoe and Masha the bear, there was standing water everywhere because it's rained every day for the last week. And you can take a look at photo here. And this one you see, this is another yucky day. Dark, windy. Right now it's not windy, but huge winds, lots of rain. Our house flooded once so far. A lot of people's roofs blew off about 5 days ago. Boats smashed, you saw that. And yeah, weather's not good. And so the health agency in Badung is going to start fogging again, and fogging is a kind of a controversial program. Some people say it doesn't do any good. The fogging is part of a prevention program. It's supposed to eradicate larvae that collects on the sewers and standing water. And Pak Gunarta has urged people to maintain cleanliness. Okay, and so dengue fever. Another bad thing coming on top of everything else. So, coronavirus, dengue fever, bad weather. How about ending up on something good today? Okay, here's some photos that I took down from the Info Singaraja Facebook page of the new market, the big, huge market over in Banyuasri, and I took my drone to fly out to see if I could get there. I almost got there today, farthest drone flight ever for me over the city, 1,000 meters, and I'm going to do a video on the Mini 2, the DJI Mini 2, in a couple of days. And so, photos, it looks pretty cool, and it's supposed to open next month from what my wife said. And it was interesting when the photos were posted on the info Singaraja Bali Facebook page. A lot of people said, how long before it gets trashed? People said, well, it's great, but how many people are going to start writing on the wall? What are the toilets? There was a lot of discussion about the toilets. Who's going to clean the toilets? Are you going to have to pay for the toilets? And so we'll be going there when they open. Now, I'm not going to go the day they open because it's going to be crazy. My wife will probably go. Maybe I'll give her a camera and let her film it. Okay, and so that's good news. The market will be opening up in jobs, and so no news on opening up, but remember, if you are a person that really needs to get here and you want to come here on a semi-long-term basis, people are still arriving using the B211 visa, and there's links down below for immigration information, and you'll need to get an agent to get in here. And as I've said before, go to the rules and information page, the laws and information page. It's down below if you want information about getting into Bali, if you happen to be a digital nomad or just somebody that's got a lot of money and can come and live here for a while. Okay, and so I hope the weather is better where you are. Stay safe. Holiday season's coming up. Remember to wear a mask, follow social distancing, and let's hope that the vaccines are going to get rolled out and help get us back to normal. Okay, thanks for viewing. If you like this, please subscribe, a thumbs up, leave a comment if you have questions or just want to say hi, and stay safe and be kind to someone today. See you next time.